Good evening and welcome to Crafting by Moonlight. This evening, continuing with our Harry Potter theme, we're going to go ahead and make some journals, and these are really great for party favors. They're going to look like this, and I'm going to show you what you need in a few seconds. Stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll be able to create your own writing journals, which you can fill with as much paper as you would like. Or as you can see, you can give them away as party favors, and the children will probably destroy them. But stick around and I'll show you how to make it. First things first, you are going to need some copy paper. So I have taken some copy paper and I've actually folded it in half. So my first mistake that I made with the last one is that I had folded them and wrapped them around each other. And I decided this time I wasn't going to do that. This time I'm actually going to fold them in half and glue them in half this way. So the first thing you need to do is to go ahead and fold your paper in half, as many as you would like. And then second, you're going to need, this happens to be a box top one, but you're going to need a cereal box side, just one side for one journal. And even though this is a box top one and it has expired, I'm going to go ahead and use it. So first things first. This has a little notch in it, but that's okay, especially if you're going to make them for children. I've noticed that they don't really care, but we want to get rid of this soft edge right there. It's a little frilly. So you're going to take your regular scissors and not too far in. You're just literally going to go right along the side, real easy, just to remove. And you can even just kind of not even cut the cardboard, just kind of go in and cut the frills off, just like that. But with this one, I wanted to even it out a little bit. Or if you happen to have a paper cutter or a crafting cutter, you can use that as well. So we need to figure out the length of this so we can match it with our paper. Since it's a Harry Potter theme, I went ahead and went with something that's a little Halloween style, Harry Potter style. This is from the Black and Gold Halloween by Recollections, and it's called Midnight Magic. And this is a paper pack. You can pick them up at Michael's. Once again, use your coupons, please, especially with these, because you can get these for 40% off, and they usually retail for 21 to 25, depending on what kind of paper pad it is. This one has gold in it, so these actually retail for a little bit more. As you can see, the sheets are a little golden. There you go. And then they have the regular, these are all gold foil. That's definitely a gold foil. And then they have the ones that are not gold foil, which, as you can see, even though this is a little bit smaller, this pattern actually matches this pattern. So, once again, this is a Harry Potter theme. You can do this for anything, any book theme or any party theme that has books in it. You can make them even not for a party favor. You can go ahead and make them and then have them sitting on your shelf. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to line up the edges. And we're not going to draw a line. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is take my pen. And this one's okay to use. It's a felt tip. But I just need to make a line so I know where I need to line up my paper cutter. Now, if you do not have a paper cutter, you might want to go ahead and mark down your lines. I do have a paper cutter. It was a great investment. Once again, bought it at Michael's. It's a Fiskars paper cutter. And let me get there's the logo right up here. Fiskars. And these are actually really great. These are replaceable. Yes, this is it. Sometimes they're a little hard to get out and a little easy to get out. Just depends on what it is. As you can tell, this one's actually old. I wanted to get an up-close look of the blade for you guys, but that little black dot right there is actually the blade. It's a teeny tiny blade, razor blade, and they do last quite a while, and they're easy to replace. So the packs are easy to get. You don't have to really worry about that at all. And then it just snaps right into this groove right here. There. Sometimes it snaps in, sometimes it slides in. This one actually has a wire guide to it. So it shows you where your line is going to go. And that's, once again, a really great tool to have. It also has a groove right here, a notch groove, so that you can tell, once again, where your paper is going to cut. It has a ruler on both sides, so there's this side a ruler, there's this one at the top. You have one that's actually on here as well, on the cutter, and then you have a fold out ruler. So in this case, where you're dealing with large amounts of paper, you can easily see where you need to measure this. But since we've already created our lines, we can go ahead and just cut without having to worry about that. But in a later tutorial, when I show you how to do the Alice in Wonderland invitations, you're going to need that measurement so you know where you're cutting. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. I did it this way only because I want the straight edge. You want to use the straightest edge possible when cutting on these. This actually has the perforated edge from the book, and I didn't want that to interfere with what I was doing. Here we go, a little bit better. So I went ahead and, once again, as you can see, that middle line that's right in between is my guiding line. So as you can see up here at the top, it is lined up with my pin mark. And then I'm just going to cut it straight down. Plain, simple, easy. So like I was saying, it is a good investment to have, especially if you want to start doing homemade crafts. Line this up and slide it down. There we are. Plain, simple, no hassle, no trying to cut a straight line. Very easy. And then we can even take it and use it for our cardboard. I just want to go ahead and get those little edges off. Oh, that didn't work. And you could have done it for this as well. If you do have a cutter, you can use it to kind of trim up your sides and stuff. So now that we've done all the cutting that we're going to do for this video, I could put that away. I'm going to go ahead and take this and cut off these little... So as you can see, I'm running my scissors down the line, but I'm not cutting into the cardboard at all. Just like so. Now, as you saw from the beginning, I used the brown background for my outer side. If you don't want to do that and you want to reverse it and have your cardstock side on the outside, that's okay too. I decided to do this way because this is the way I found it on Pinterest. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. And I want to crease this first. So the hard thing about cardboard is you can't really get it lined up too well without sticking a ton of creases in it. So this is the hard part. After this, it's all downhill. So you want to just keep trying to line it up so it's even as possible. And you can even use your scissors to get down in there and try to flatten it out a bit. I usually do that if it's something I really can't do with my nails. But you want to get it as straight as possible so that when your book closes, you don't have any lines showing at all. It's not impossible, but it's not always easily possible. Let's put it that way. So now that we have our book binding, our outer side, we're going to go ahead and take our paper. And I did notice our box tops don't expire, but that's okay. So now you want to lay your paper on this side. Now you could use same type of paper and do it on the outside, and then get a really nice label and label it on the inside, or label it on the outside and put potions on it, which is a really great thing to do. And I believe I will do that for this one. I'll get a label. So we've already measured it up. Now we're going to take our tape runner. Once again, another investment. You want to, if you're going to be doing a lot of arts and crafts, try to invest in tools that are going to be maybe more costly at the moment, but will be better in the long run because it's something that you may not have to replace as often, or you can get more use out of it. This one, since it's a refillable tape runner, it's the best investment. It was $6.99 where I live for the tape runner itself with one refill in it, but you can get other refills for $12.99. But once again, if you're not doing a lot of crafting, this could last you a while. If you do a lot of crafting, it may not last so long, but you can do other things and you can substitute other things in, like glue dots. But for this, I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner. And I'm going to run it all down the corners and the sides. You want to get into the corners as best as you can. If you realize that it didn't go all the way to the corner, it's okay. Just take your tape runner and start there. It's kind of like sewing. My grandmother's probably watching this YouTube video going, no, it's not. It's not like sewing at all. Sorry. Okay. So I've noticed that there's a few spots, so I just go over them real quick with the tape runner. Easy, simple. There we go. And I don't want to put anything in the middle. You could. The only thing is we have not folded our other paper, so I don't really want to do that because it might not stick right. As it is, this is going to be hard to kind of fold this anyways. I could fold it. You can fold it. Let's see how this works. If not, then don't fold it. But once again, you're also folding something and sticking it onto something that you folded, which is not easy to do. There we go. Go slow. Just realized that I was going too fast and I didn't have time to. You might want to go ahead and try to bow this since I folded it and start from the middle. and try to maybe start on one side and work your way to the other side. And when you do that, fold this side up so that you're not trying to splay it out this way. You want to try to start folding this side so that it won't, so that that crease in here will get into there and you don't have this space in the middle. And go ahead, nope, there it is. I knew I was going to do that. Okay, and then when you open it up, okay, so I did have a little bit of an air bubble inside. Seems like I got it out, which is good. So that's why I was saying you might not want to do that. But it seemed to work out okay. So there we go. So now we have the inside of our book. Now we need to go ahead and tape in our pages. Now last time, I believe I did it either with glue dots or I either did it with glue dots or I did it with regular glue. This time I'm going to try something different. And I'm actually going to start by taking my crease. And you might want to mark this with a pin because the kids are not going to see this, or whoever you're giving it to may not see it. Since I don't have a real quick ruler on hand, I just want to make a small line. And maybe keep it away from the edges, just as an extra added measure. Find your line and place it like that. So now we have a line right in the middle. So I know where my crease is. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and try very hard, because with these it's kind of hard to do, and go right down the side of that line. See, it's not straight, but that's okay. It's okay. With that. And then I'm going to take one of my folded sheets and I'm actually going to line it up with the line. And it's okay if it is over a little bit. It's larger than the paper, or the paper is larger than the book. That's quite all right. That's not a big deal. We're going to fix that in a few moments. So now we have our start. We're going to go ahead and do that for the other side as well. We're going to take our tape runner and we're going to run it right along this line as close to it as possible. And then we're going to take another piece of folded paper and we're going to put it on this side, and we're literally going to line it up with the other piece so that we have a complete piece of paper. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to start building the inside of our book binding. And once again, we're going to, actually I would like to cut these first. That way I know where I need to place them. That one didn't take all the way. That's alright. That's what scissors are for. Here we go. Then we're going to turn it around. Line it up. Try to press a little hard when you're doing that. Alright. So there we go. So now we know where our pages need to line up. And we can do that every time, and then by the time we're done, the book will actually be complete, or you can wait. But I think I'll go ahead and wait. So we're going to repeat. And if it goes over, that's okay, because you're going to be putting glue on the side as well. So you can kind of see it, that faint line right there. I'm just going to line up our pages and drop them right on. Press firmly, because we want a good stick, especially if we're giving them to children. Do our second glue. And this one didn't come out so well. So we're going to go back over. So the great thing about tape runners is that you can go over them as many times as you need. I'm a perfectionist, so I like to try to get them in the first shot. Press firmly. Repeat. One last time. So with this one, we actually kind of know where it is because you can kind of feel that notch. So you don't have to tape all the way up here. You can just start where you feel the edge of the book, now that there's some substance there. Oops, I went over. And this one, since I only have one more page, and it's up to you as many as you want. You can keep going if you want and have more pages. I decided that it was just going to be a small book. I don't want it too big because, you know, kids don't tend to, unless they're older kids. Mine happens to be really young, so she's not going to use this very much. This one's actually for me. So once again, we have to try to reform our edge here, our spine. And then as you can see, when you open it up, paper is flexed, and we also have a gap, which is okay. That's okay. So we need to go ahead and trim the sides. I'm going to use the paper cutter for that. And I'm going to go to the middle page and turn it over. Because you don't want to do too many papers at once. It's just like any other paper cutting device, paper shredder, anything like that. You don't want to have to go back over. See, like that. There we go. Turn it around. We are almost done. And because of the double paper, I didn't catch that last piece. Just line that up real quick. And once again, these are things that you can use if you go to Renaissance fairs or Comic-Cons or things like that. You can take this with you. Okay, so now that we're done with the book, we need to put a spine on it. We're going to use a bit of our paper. This one's too thin because it has to wrap around. So actually, instead of using this, because it would sit this way on the book, I'm actually going to save that paper. And I had done a book before where I used this paper, so I'm going to use this paper, which actually matches up with this paper a little bit. The same flourishes and swirls are on there, so it matches pretty nicely. So we're going to go ahead and cut our paper. We don't need the extra. And we're going to go ahead and give it about 1 inch right there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm actually going to use this end, not that end. And I need a pretty big end for that. There we go. So that way we have a clean edge on both sides. Actually, I don't think this is the right size. How silly. We're going to cut that off a little bit. There we go. Now it's even. So we have a nice strip, and that's about 1 3/4 inches wide. So you can use, once again, you can use your glue dots or you could use your tape runner. I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner. And I'm going to start by running it down right down the edge. There we go. And then we're going to try to figure out where we want that to be. I want it to be a little bit over. So I'm going to do another strip right next to it. So it gives me a little bit of width. So there we go. We've got a little bit of width going on there. And then we're going to go ahead and line up our paper. Press it down. Flip it over. Repeat. Now at this point, your book can be either or. So as you can see, this has got a little bit more width to it than you want, or you can leave it the way you want. So what I'm going to do is make it real simple. Just going to chop that off right there. Clean it up a little bit. All right. So if you like the thin edge, you can leave it on this side or you can flip it over. Give it a little bit wider. I like the wider look myself. Get a stamp. Once again, whatever your theme is, that's what you should use. I've got this really great owl stamp, and he happens to be sitting on a stack of books. Michaels usually has a buy one, get one 50% off or sometimes free with their stamps. I like to take advantage of that one. See what new stamps we can come up with. Now, when you do stamps, you need to press straight down, but then you need to kind of rock forward a little bit. Just push slightly forward, not a lot, and slightly back. Slightly to the side, slightly to the other side, and pull off. Pull straight up. And there you go. It gives you a nice, really clean print, as well as really dark. So I like doing that. So that's how I do my stamps. And then we're going to go ahead and sign it. And I'm using my felt tip pen because it's a little bit bigger. I think when I did my daughter's for her party, I actually used a calligraphy pen. And there we are. You have a Spells and Charms book. My name is Alice. Thank you for watching Crafting by Moonlight. As always, if you like it, please like and subscribe. Also, leave your comments in the comments box below, and we'll see you next time.